All right, all right, all right. Hey, everybody, Rob Cootie here, the MLM Solution. Welcome, world. I'm excited to have you guys here. I'm excited to be back. This is Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend, a safe weekend. Once again, we always start out by saying, what about the virus? Please take care of yourself. If you take care of yourself and you're not a carrier, you don't expose your loved ones, which includes your friends and your family. And let's be honest, as human beings, you know what? You don't expose your fellow human beings who may be at a health risk if you carry it around without you knowing. Of course, if you don't know it, you don't know it, right? But the thing is, guys, do everything you can to protect yourself. That way, it helps bring this thing to an end sooner rather than later. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope no one that listens to our podcast is affected by this terrible virus. And to add to that, I feel for all of those, all across the world. No matter who you are, you're my fellow human being. If you have been affected by this terrible virus, my prayers, my thoughts, and my heartfelt, how would you say, care for my fellow human being goes out to you guys. And as you can tell, I struggle for words. I wish I was great with words, but my heart's in the right place. And to be honest with you, it's something that I think about a lot because we have a lot of health compromised individuals that are friends of ours in our family, and we're doing everything we can to protect not only ourselves, but them from being exposed. I have not seen any of my family members in a long time, and that's okay. We stay in touch, but for their safety, we stay away. I hope you guys are ready for today. We're going to have a great subject today. Today, we're going to cover Recruiting 101, okay, the do's and don'ts of recruiting. And this is really important because of the fact that you're going to have some situations that you're going to be unaware of that could affect your recruiting. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that we touch on these things. We're not going to beat you guys to death with the details about it, but we are going to make you aware of some of the challenges in today's technologically advanced environment so that you know what not to do and what to do in these situations. And you're going to not be surprised on one hand. On the other hand, you are going to be surprised at what you learn. You probably think to yourself, I did not know that. So with that being said, stick around. You're going to learn a lot of great information that's going to help you out in the recruiting game, which is your lifeblood of your business. That being said, let's get our show going. All right, as usual, as you can tell, guys, if you will, please comment, please leave thumbs up, all of that. I just put the comments up on the sites so that you guys can see them and you guys will reply. Please let us know how you guys, if you have any questions, if you have any challenges, let us know about that. We want to make sure that we're helping you guys out. That being said, I hope that you guys are, hold on one second here. There we go. I made a boo-boo. There we go. There we go. I made a boo-boo. Yes, I did. Okay. Sorry about that. You guys on the podcast, didn't mean to do that to you, but here's the thing. I did not bring our Facebook friends on. I knew something was up. I was looking around and boom, there it is. I made boo-boo. So with that boo-boo, the thing is that I got to correct it. Sorry, I got off track there. As always, if you will, please like, comment, and share our shows on various social media platforms. You help us out when you do. Once again, as I always say, thank you for the growth that we're experiencing. I really hate to bring it up. At the same time, I want to bring it up because there's always new people listening and joining the podcast. And I want to make sure that I say thank you to everyone that does their part in helping get this information out to everyone. It's quite amazing what transpires here through social media. And I'm once again very grateful for all of that input. that you guys not only give, but also the sharing, the thumbs up, the interaction. Love it, love it, love it. Once again, during the show, if you will, if you have a question, if you have a comment, please do so. Give us a thumbs up, as you can see, if you like what you see and hear on the show. And as always, the MLMsolution.net is our web address, the MLMsolution.net. I've made a lot of progress. I see a lot of people going there. I did great things on the the website this weekend, so I'm very excited about that. Please go there, support that, and visit that. And you can find us on any social media platform, the MLM Solution, and hashtag the MLM Solution 1. How we ended up not being the one and only the MLM Solution, I don't know, but that's the case. That's the reason why we had to add a 1 to, I think, Twitter or Facebook. I can't remember. There was a couple of social media platforms that we were not the first, quote unquote, the MLM Solution. So we had to add that 1 in order for us to take and make a profile. So once again, hashtag the MLM Solution, and also hashtag the MLM Solution 1. Enough of that. Today's broadcast, podcast number 39. Can you believe it? Number 39. That's hard to believe. And I loved every one of them, and I continue to love doing this for you guys. It's a lot of fun, and I can tell we're having an impact. I'm very grateful for that. And I hope that this will continue, and that you guys will continue to find value in what we do, and that you guys will continue to be a part of it, and to help us expand it. For all of you on the podcast, today's show is Recruiting 101, the do's and don'ts of recruiting, and we're going to hop right into our very first point, because we want to make this as short as possible. With that being said, guys, all right, here's what we have for all of you on the podcast. The first do, in other words, what you do want to do in the recruiting process is keep it simple. You know that we always promote that. I'm not going to harp on that because you guys have heard me talk about it so many times. But it needs to be repeated because the value of it is immense. And I've got to make sure that you guys grasp the importance of keeping things simple. Remember, I always have a term that I share with you guys. There's power and beauty in simplicity. Let me say that again. There's power and beauty in simplicity. It seems like the simpler you make things, the more powerful the results, okay? And the more powerful you can be. Look, you want to be emboldened. You want to be empowered. You want to have focus. You don't want to be weighted down with a bunch of stuff on your mind, with a bunch of stuff that you have to do that's going to take time away from what? The bare essentials. And what is the bare essentials? Just build this business, get out there, get active, and do the right things. Keeping the recruiting process simple is absolutely essential. And what do I mean by that? Well, here's what I mean for the don't on this side, because we just had the do. What do? Keep it simple. That's the first point we talked about for you guys on the podcast. You guys on the video can see at the ticker at the bottom the subject that we're covering. Now we're talking about the don't. These two go together. First, I talked about the do, keep it simple. Then now we're talking about the don't. Don't complicate things and make them complex. Guys, the recruiting is simple. It's simple. The biggest challenge you have in recruiting is having a constant source of leads. We've already taught you the message. You have that at your disposal through us. We've taught you all the steps. We taught you how to get duplication started. But here's the thing. Recruiting is the lifeblood of your business. Without you having a constant source of high quality leads, you're going to struggle. And as we talked about, there are lead generation sites out there that are available to you that will help you develop that constant source of high quality leads. Now, with that being said, don't complicate things. If you've got multiple sources of leads coming your way, guys, here's what you want to do. You want to keep things simple. And all you have to do is look at our system. We keep things simple. But if you're not using our system, that's okay. As long as it's producing, we don't care. We want you to be successful whether you use our system or not. We're here sharing this knowledge. As you know, you can go to the podcast, soundcloud.com, and you can find this on there, the MLM Solution, and you're going to find what? A bevy, 64 total and it'll be 65 after today, podcasts addressing just about every subject that you need to know about as far as building a successful business. This is no different. Look, you need to keep it simple. On top of that, you don't want to complicate. Don't complicate things and make them complex, which means what? Just have a message that works, whether it's the music to the ears message or one that you built yourself, whatever works for you that will get people on the edge of their seat wanting to know more. And what you want to do is just keep things simple and to the point, like we've talked about. If you haven't been a part of our podcast, please go back, review our podcast. You're going to learn that we keep things simple. We teach simple things because they work and they're the basics. Now, the thing is, a lot of people want to make things complicated or complex. They think it's got to be tougher than this. You mean all I got to do is just talk to people and use the right message, follow up with them, and then sign them up, and then get them started on the right steps so the duplication starts from day one? Yes, that's all it is, period. And as you guys know, we have that 90-day goal checklist. We also have the progress sheet. We have the checklist, everything, so that you guys cannot make a mistake. You guys will not miss a thing. We have these little check blocks that you have on our sheets that it's a step-by-step guide that shows you exactly what to do and when. You can't get it any easier than that. And it's only 5 things. But there again, if you're using a different system, if they're trying to weigh you down with crazy stuff, guys, back away. Back away. I just shared with you a moment ago, you know what? Just have a message, have a constant source of leads, have a message, share that message for those leads, find out where they are using scale of ambition, follow up with them, put them on the spot with a scale of ambition. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? You're ready to make a decision. Once they make a decision, either move on to another prospect or sign them up and get them trained all within a matter of a half hour. And that way duplication can start, okay? And, you know, a half hour might be a little quick for you in the beginning. As you get better at it, you'll do it quicker. Okay, so the next important thing that we want to talk about, okay? For all of you on the podcast, we moved on to the next important subject, the do. In other words, here's what you want to do, is you want to do things yourself. What do I mean by that? Guys, look, don't hire another company to recruit for you. There are companies out there that will bring leads your way. They'll even talk to the prospect. They'll do everything. And sometimes they'll even offer to sign them up if you'll allow them access to your back office. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm telling you, that's a disaster waiting to happen. Do not do that. And that's our don't for this. And I just changed the ticker at the bottom. Don't hire someone to do the recruiting for you. Okay? Now, I want to bring something up, and it's something that we can talk about down the road. Here's the thing. And you can have, say you and your spouse sign up together as a team. You guys form a team, and you're called the A team. And on the companies, when you sign up with a new company, you put both your names as a team. You can do that, okay? And if you guys are going to work this business as a team, guess what? One of you may be better at talking to people. One of you might be better at the recruiting game. One of you may actually enjoy that process. I certainly did. As you know, I love meeting people, so it came natural to me. If you're doing this as a team, one of you has strengths, the other one doesn't. That is a great way to do the recruiting process. But let's look at it, what we're talking about, the don't here. Don't hire somebody to do the recruiting for you. It's intriguing. It's seductive. You can have all these images dancing in your head thinking, oh, man, that'll really free me up. All I have to do is go to work and still be with family, and I'll have leads coming in and people sign. I'm telling you, is a disaster waiting to happen. Don't do that. That is a big mistake. If this makes sense, give me a thumbs up, guys. I want to know if it's hitting the nail on the head, if this makes sense to you guys, because these are important points that you need to know, because I'm going to tell you, without you having this understanding, you're going to make these mistakes, which are going to derail you. Okay, so the thing is, if you remember anything, do everything yourself. I changed the ticker at the bottom back to the do things yourself. Take responsibility. Don't try to hide behind someone else or a company doing the recruiting for you. Take responsibility. I'm telling you, it's going to be a huge payoff if you do. Remember, this is a duplicatable business, and what you do, your downline is going to do. And I can tell you one of the potential downfalls of having another company, and I went back to the don't, which is hire someone or a company to do the recruiting for you. When your people find out, Rob, what did you do? How did you do this? You know what they're going to do? They're going to say, well, I want to do that too. Now you're saying, okay, well, I paid for this and you're going to have to pay for it. And the next thing you know, you're going to have other people in your downline. I want to do it too. I want to do it too. And everybody's raising their hand. Now you've got multiple people wanting to join you or use the company that you're using to bring leads in. All of a sudden, you're going to have to put together this group, if you will, and everybody donate a certain amount of money. And then now the legal parts could start to come into play because now money's changing hands. Okay, I'm telling you, I've been there. I've been a part of these. I've also been on the outside looking in, and I'm telling you, it is a disaster because everybody gets lazy. Everybody depends on the company. The company's not always forthright. The company's not always accurate. The company, a lot of times, goes out of business. I mean, once you turn over your money, if they go out of business the next week, your money's gone and you have no leads. So I'm telling you, it is a disaster waiting to happen. And if you remember, I talked about where certain really aggressive, and they were actually personalities. And I'm not going to mention names, but you would recognize them. But here's the thing, you know what they did? They got together a group of people, and they had connections in the TV industry. They had connections in the radio industry, and they started running ads in the TV and radio market. Yes, they in fact did that. And then certain network marketing companies allowed them to do that. That was a disaster. There's a reason why it's still not popular and it's not used today. There's all kinds of legal issues. There's all kinds of problems, and it ends up totally enthralling you in the whole process, addressing the challenges, the problems, the complaints, trying to keep up with the volume of leads coming in, because it'll work for a short time, but it's not duplicatable. And there's going to be people, well, I didn't get the number you said. You told me that I was going to have 10 prospects a week, and I've only had 7. I've only had 9. I want my 10th one. I paid for it, by golly, and I want it. If not, we're going to have a problem. I mean, you're going to have those kind of issues. You do not want to do that. Now, that being said, if you take responsibility yourself, you do this business the way it's supposed to be done, either as a team or as an individual, and you just find a way to get a constant source of high quality leads. Like I told you guys, there's great lead generation sites out there. I'm telling you guys, if you do that, it is going to be huge for you, and it's going to pay off in a big way. Do things yourself. Take responsibility. Get over the fear of talking to people. Get over the challenges of developing a constant source of leads. There's a lot of great sites out there. Speaking of that, ours is I'm going to be talking to the developer today on the lead generation site, and I'm telling you, I'm excited about it. I'm excited. And I'll let you guys know more as we move down the road. There looks like there's real promise. Okay, so what's the other do? We're moving on for you guys on the podcast to our third point, and is do stay focused on the basics. Yes, I know it's a little bit redundant over what we just talked about, but once again, when you guys see it on the screen, when you guys hear me say it, guys, just stay with the basics. Don't get away from the basics, and I'll tell you why. Let's go and look at the don't on this. Don't chase the pretty things, the new techno toys, the new systems, the new tools. Guys, I'm telling you, once again, I've been there. Some of you are going to try it anyway, and I totally get it. And you know what? It's just like you're saying, well, Rob, you're saying don't use tools and don't use new technology and all this and that, and yet you're coming out with a lead generation site. Yes, I am. Absolutely. Lead generation sites have been around a long time, and they're a proven commodity. They're a proven tool, and they do what they do very well. Okay, there's only so many ways you can develop leads. Now, I'm not making excuses here. What I'm telling you, look, there are people that come out all the time claiming all this and that. They want you to buy their apps. They want you to join their organizations. They want you to do this and do that, and they're promising the moon in the process. Okay, and you're saying, okay, those lead generation sites are okay, and that's cool, but I'm going to go over here because this is a new technology, this is a new tool, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to see if this works instead of going to those sites that develop leads and have been for a long time. You see the difference? You have new technology that you're not sure of. Yes, you can take a chance if you so choose, it's your business, but I'm telling you once again, as things have proven over time, there's new technology out there that is many new technologies that have been tried, and all they do is end up deflecting people from the basics. Guys, you want to stick with the basics. Now, I'm not saying don't use your cell phone. Absolutely use your cell phone to make calls, to make notes about the call. You know what? I use my cell phone all the time. If I make a call it's important, I make notes on my phone. Hey, this is who I talked to. This is what we talked about, and blah, 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 blah. So the thing is, thank you for the thumbs up, guys. Thank you very much. So here's the thing. What we have in front of us in this great technological world are all kinds of cool things. And I love technology. I am not anti-technology, okay? Despite my age, I've always loved technology. And if you came to my office or house, you'd see technology everywhere. It drives the wife nuts. A lot of times she can't even figure out how to turn on the TV sometimes. And we got one remote. So the thing is that, I'm not afraid of technology, and I've tried a lot of them. I believe in trying things. I believe in not being, you can see that Phoebe just made the camera shake. I'm not afraid of trying new things. I'm not afraid of technology, okay? But you know what? Time and time again, this new technology that promised the moon, and I always went into these things with an open mind, but also cautious. But I didn't drop everything I was doing and just go hog wild and jumped into this new technology with both feet. I would test it first before I would go out and make any claims, or before I would go out and use it totally and give up on what I was using before. Guys, I got to make sure it works first, okay? Well, guess what? I'm here to tell you that a lot of the things that are out there that are claiming to help you out are nothing more than detractors from what you're doing, which is what? The basics. Remember, you want to stick with the basics. Don't chase the pretty things, okay? And once again, that's not meaning that don't use a computer. That does not mean don't use a tablet. That does not mean don't use a phone. Here's what it means. Don't be totally dependent on technology and forget what really works. And what's that? You. You are the reason people join this business, okay? The tools will make it more efficient, more effective for you, okay, where you can leverage yourself even more. But you got to use the right tools, and you can't be chasing every new tool that comes out, okay? And if your upline leadership is constantly introducing new technology, new tools, guys, that's going to take you away from what the basics are. What is the basics? Be consistent. Get out there, develop a constant source of high quality leads, and go through those leads as quickly as possible yourself. By what? By on the phone, and set up appointments, whether it's in person or over the phone or video conference. That's using technology, and it's using it wisely. It's using it effectively. That does not detract you from what? The basics. Communication is one of the basic cornerstones of this business. This kind of conference software that we're using right here allows me to touch you across the world. That is a powerful thing. That is a basic thing. All the video is doing is replacing the phone. But if you have international calling on your phone, you can go ahead and call the people, okay? So the point is that you want to use technology, but you got to use the technology in conjunction with the basics. Don't let the new tools take your focus away from what really works, and that is the basics, and that is you doing the basics. That is the reason why we're calling this Recruiting 101, because look, we're addressing the basics here. You got to do it yourself. You can't depend on a company to do it. You can't depend on somebody else to do it. You can't pay someone else to do it for you, okay? People have tried that. Has it succeeded in some way, shape, or form? I'm sure it has. I'm not all-knowing, and it's been this company. I mean, industry has been around for 60 years, so maybe it has happened. But I will tell you that I used to have my thumb on the pulse of the industry, and there wasn't much that got past me. And a lot of people from across the world would call me and say, hey, what do you think of this company? Hey, what do you think of this comp plan? Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I was constantly on the phone helping people out, and they respected my input because I was spot on, and I even kept up with trends. As a matter of fact, so much so they called me Dr. Rob, okay? And they called me the MLM doctor. That's what they called me, okay? Because I was really in tune with what was going on. And like I said, I had my pulse, my thumb on the pulse of the industry. And it doesn't mean that I knew everybody. It doesn't mean that I knew everything, but what it did mean is that I kept up with the trend, and I saw what happened. I saw the good and the bad and the ugly of what was transpiring. And when it all comes down to, at the end of the day, guys, is doing the basics. Remember, the guys of yesteryear, and I don't want to keep going back. It's not because of my age. I go back because the stories are powerful, and they're the essence of the business. If you just mimicked and copied and did what they did, guys, you would be miles ahead of your peers. Look, master the basics. I told you about how these guys built incredible businesses, and they didn't have fax machines. All they had was a phone. I mean, that's the bottom line. And they became a phone warrior because they could not get out on foot. Okay, you could do that if you so choose. It is a hard thing. I've done that. But the thing is that at the same time, I got out around. But I was single. I didn't have a family at the time. But I was doing the basics. I was meeting new people all the time, getting business cards all the time. I was on the phone all the time. Okay, when I wasn't at work. Remember, I was in the military. I had a job to do, and I gave the military my 8, 10, 12 hours, whatever it was, and sometimes 24 hours. But here's the thing. I was totally focused on my job in the military. I did not in any way, shape, or form prospect people in the military during duty hours, okay? And the bottom line is that people would come up to me, hey, I heard you're doing this and this and this. Can you tell me more about it? That's how it worked. And remember, I always tell you guys, build from the outside in, never from the inside out. And that's exactly what I did, okay? I was not going to have a conflict of interest at work, which was my military job. At the same time, the military is paying me and training me to do my job. And they depend on me to do that job at the utmost of my abilities. And that's exactly what I did. Gave it total focus and total effort. Okay, but once I left that, then I went into the business building mode. And that meant that if I was getting out of work and after a 12-hour day, all I had was a phone. Okay, and I'd be on the phone doing my follow-ups or setting appointments. Okay, and I would tell people, hey, I'm in the military, these appointments could change. I'll stay in touch with you, blah, blah, blah. So the point is, look, I made it work with all the challenges I had. You guys can do the same if you do what? Stick with the basics, okay? Have I used lead generation sites in the past? Absolutely. I've used all different types, okay? And they do help because they're a basic tool. What are they doing? They're bringing leads to you. That is a basic part of the process, okay? And then sites have proven themselves. When our site comes out, you're going to see a vastly different site, and you're going to be excited about it. And I may touch on it soon. The only reason I haven't brought it up now, I don't want my competitors to come out and mimic me or copy me or get it to market before I do. I don't think they're going to, because it has a bunch of psychological triggers that are built into the site that helps your prospect connect with you. And we can talk about that another day. But the point is that, guys, it is going to be a lead generation site that's unlike any other. But what is it doing? It's doing one of the basics. What is the basics? It's bringing you pre-qualified, high-quality leads, people that are looking forward to hearing from you, people that have already seen you, people that have heard your voice, seen your mannerisms, your connection. I'm telling you, when you see it, you're going to be blown away. I showed a snapshot of the lead generation site in the last episode. And if you go to YouTube and look at the last episode from last Friday, which would be the 17th of April, at the end of the video, you'll see a snapshot of the lead generation site layout. And when you see that, you'll see the colors that we use, which is essential. There's a reason why we use those colors. Now, why do I say that? I'm not getting off on a product here. I say that because it's one of the basics of marketing. And we're using that to help you do what? Get the basics of network marketing down, which is what? The lifeblood of the business, which is recruiting. And in order for you to be able to recruit, you got to have a constant source of pre-qualified, high-quality leads. So here you're using technology to do the basics that you got to do anyway, which is why you're at work. This site will work for you 24/7, presenting not only yourself, but your opportunity to these people, and they're going to be waiting for you, and you're going to get notified that these people went through your lead generation site. It is a phenomenal thing. It only takes them a little bit to go through it. There again, why do I tell you this? Because, guys, it's one of the basics. It helps you in the basics, okay? And once you get those leads from that lead generation site, guess what? You do the what? The follow up. And you use the scale of ambition, or the scale of ambition, not scale, the scale of interest. And you ask them on the scale of interest, hey, on the interest level, where are you, 1 through 10? Tell me. And like we talked about the other day, which I'm not going to go down, if they're a 7, 8, or 9, guess what? They're almost closed already. You get to say, well, is there any reason why you want to join the business now? That's doing the basics. That is what I'm talking about. Don't let a company, don't let an individual take over your recruiting process. They're not going to handle it the same way. They're not going to say the same words. It's not duplicatable. You're going to have a major problem. You'll have short-term success, and then your downline is going to want to do the same thing. It ends up being a mess, like I said before. So don't chase the pretty things, which is the new techno toys, the new tools that come out. You have all the tools right here. If you've got a lead generation site or multiple lead generation sources already, then you have the basics in place. The rest of it is mastering the message, delivering that message to high quality people, and closing that one way or the other, yes or a no. And then either move on to a new person or sign that person up and get the duplication process started by doing what? By the 5 simple steps, setting out the 90-day goals. As you know, we have all those things in place, right? That's how duplication happens. That's how short and sweet the process can be. Okay? Guys, once you get this thing rolling, you won't need any fancy toys. You should use your phone. I'm telling you, you should use your tablet. I have all of that to keep appointments, to set appointments, to make your calls, to have a schedule so that it's with you all the time. Yes, that's one of the basics. The only thing the tablet and the phone have done is replace the paper pad. And you know what? The wife still uses, she loves her phone. She's got her nose in phone all the time. She gave up on the tablet. She's just using phone all the time. And, that she stays in touch with all her friends and everything else. But here's the thing. She still uses a paper notepad, a really nice, it's, about the size, fits in the purse. And she writes everything down on there. She does not keep it on her phone. Her phone is a communication device, a device for her to reach out to the world. But as far as keeping appointments and scheduling things, it's all in that book, in that calendar. Guys, you could do that too. So you could use paper, which is a basic item. You can use your phone or your tablet, whatever the case may be. And if you take it with you wherever you go, guess what? All your appointments and everything are with you. Now, look, I'm the type, I use my phone or my tablet for everything. Why? Because if I take my phone with me wherever I go. If I forget my tablet, guess what? My appointments are on my Google Calendar or my Apple Calendar, whatever the case may be, and I never miss a beat. I get a notification, and that way I say, oh, you know what? There's the next appointment. I've got to make this call. And I have everything right there in the palm of my hand. What am I doing? I'm doing the basics, but I'm using technology as a complement to the basics. Okay, I'm still doing the basics, and I'm not getting distracted by some new shiny tool over here that promises me that they're going to be able to do something better. That means I got to learn something new. There's a lot of what are they called, project management software out there, which I use when we're developing a new product, when we're developing a new site. We have people, and I forget, Trello, I think, is one of them. There's a couple of them, and you can set out schedules, you can communicate and send messages and see snapshot. I mean, anybody that knows Trello knows what I'm talking about. And you know what? Here's the thing. If I'm hiring people across the world, that is a great tool. But as far as network marketing goes, I don't need to use that. That's just distracting me from the basics, because it's an additional thing that I have to deal with, that I have to take time away from what I'm doing, which is what? The business building basics, to mess with that, to keep it updated. And it adds more stress because I got to keep it up to date, and I got to do this and this and this. Look, keep everything simple. Keep with the basics. Don't get off track. Guys, just do the basics. If you'll stay focused, and if you don't know what the basics are, go to the podcast, go to YouTube, wherever the case may be, and you listen to the podcast, watch the videos, because we show you what the basics are. And guess what? We have a tremendous treasure trove of training videos in our members area. When the site becomes live down the road, you're going to have the lead generation site. You're going to have the business building tools. You're going to have To go along with that site, you're going to have all the training you could possibly need, and all the documents you can possibly need. You're going to have live training and support. That is an unbeatable combination. You're not going to get that anyplace else. You are allowed, well, let me rephrase that. Because of all that we bring to the table, you can stay focused on what? The basics. Because that's all we teach. And when you go there and learn, that's all you're going to be exposed to, which is going to keep you on course, which is going to keep you focused, and we're going to keep you updated. We'll do testing for you on new technology to see if it's going to help you guys. And we'll let you know. And if it does, we'll train you on it. Okay, that's part of what we're going to do down the road. Because look, we're excited about new technology, and we hope that it does help make things easier and more effective and more efficient. But you know what? You guys got to focus on the what? Doing the basics. Remember, I told you guys a story about Michael Jordan, probably the greatest basketball player of all time. And I told you the story when Michael was a freshman, he went to Dean Smith after his coach at North Carolina. He went to him after the freshman year and says, "Coach, what do I need to work on?" And he said, "Michael, you're an immensely talented individual, probably the most talented person I've ever had on my teams. But Michael, you need to master the basics." And so Michael did. He listened to him. That was the thing. Coach told him what to do, and Michael listened and then executed what he did, what he told him to do. And Michael did during the summers. He worked on his dribbling, worked on his movement of his hips and movement of his feet. He became stronger. He learned the game. Those are basic things. And he learned all of these things so that coming up on the sophomore year, he was much better. And by the time his junior year completed and headed off the NBA, I mean, the guy just exploded when he got in the NBA. Guys, it's no different here. The basics are not pretty, but the basics are powerful. If you master the basics, you've got it made in this industry, okay? And that's the reason why I don't bring this stuff up. Look, let me show you. Here's a book, and I brought this out. I had it out the other day. Look, your first year in network marketing, written by Mark Yarnell and his wife Renee at the time. I don't think they're together anymore. I'm not even sure Mark is still with us, but it's a great book. Your first year in network marketing. Why do I bring that up? Because one of the chapters in this book is, in fact, talking about what we're talking about here. Let's see here. Fending off the scatter bomb. That's what he's talking about. In meetings. He talks about meetings. Remember, we talked about that the other day. Don't go to these training meetings. You know, you sign up with the company, and they say, "Well, we got to train you. We have these classes every Thursday night." Guys, it is taking time away from what you need to be doing, which is the basic. Okay, and remember, always remember, if you feel yourself getting sidetracked, if you feel yourself drifting away from the basics, we're always here. You know we're here. You've learned about us. You know what we bring to the table. The thing is, I want you to know it's not just us talking about it. These guys, the greatest business builders, some of the greatest business builders of all time, these guys came out of New Skin. Remember I told you New Skin had probably the greatest collection of business builder talent in any networking company ever. And he's one of those. And he was talking about doing the basics as well. Now, I didn't get this out for today's episode. I just happened to be in the library and saw it laying there and grabbed it because I was going to go through it later. But when I did, I remembered when we were doing this show right now, I remember that was in there. I read that book probably 8 or 9 times easy. It's pretty worn out. If you look at it, it's all beat up. Okay. Because why? Because I read it. You know, I wanted to learn as much as I could about the industry. Here's our first book, What Not to Do in Network Marketing. This tells you how, it tells you what not to do and what to avoid. Okay. And what am I doing here today in Recruiting 101? I'm telling you the basics and what to do. And that's what not to do in network marketing is all about, is the basics. Now, this is the first version. The new version has a totally different color. This one's, as you can tell, orange. And there's Tim and I on the back. And we sold a lot of these. And this one has 118 pages. And we expanded it quite a bit to 146 pages in 146 paragraphs. It just happened to work out that way. But the thing is, it addresses the what not to do's. Why? because we wanted to make sure that people knew exactly what we're talking about today, what not to do. Don't do these things. Don't get away from the basics. All right. So let's kind of recap because we're pretty much done. I don't want to drag this out. Okay. The first do that we talked about for all of you on the podcast, the first do is keep it simple. Okay. And if you just keep that as a mantra in your head, whenever, the old KISS thing, keep it simple, stupid. Guys, if you do that, I'm telling you, you're going to be miles ahead. It'll keep you focused, and you will be a focused business running machine. And you'll find that you're going to be less dependent on any toys, any techno gadgets than ever before, and you're going to be more effective. I'm telling you. Okay. The second thing, the follow up, the don't complicate things. Don't make them complex. Okay. If you are using our system, then don't make them more difficult. Just follow them for the way they are, even if you don't like it, because they're there for a reason, because they're proven. And if you'll master those things that we teach you, then guess what? It's going to keep you simple, and it's going to keep you focused on your goals and doing the right steps one after the other, where you're aggressively moving towards your goals. Okay, so the first do is keep it simple. The follow-up to that is don't complicate things or make them complex. Okay, if you're using a simple system. The next do, in other words, do this, is do things yourself. The don't is don't hire somebody or a company to do the recruiting for you and to sign people up. Big mistake. The next do is stay focused on the basics. Okay, and then the don't for that is don't chase new things, new pretty things, the techno toys and the tools and all that. Don't do it, guys. Those are big mistakes. Recruiting 101 means nothing more than, let's recap this, because this is recruiting 101. This is the essence. And don't let anybody else tell you anything different, because they're going to be getting you all messed up if they do. Look, you've got to have a constant source of high quality leads. No doubt about that. You've got to use a message that will resonate with your high quality leads, where they want to work with you. They want to meet with you again. They want to do a follow-up. Okay? And remember, the right message either pushes people away or attracts people. And if you use the right message, chock full of keywords that will resonate with high quality people who are looking for something new, then guess what? You have their attention, and they're going to want to meet with you, which means a follow-up. You do the follow-up, you answer their questions, you ask their interest level on a scale of 1 to 10. If they're a 5 or a 6, you got some work to do, and you say, okay, what do I got to do to get you to a 7 or 8 or 9? If they're already at 7, 8, or 9, you say, okay, are you ready to go? Are you ready to sign up? If you're a 7, 8, or 9, you pretty much got all the answers and everything. Is there any reason why you won't make a decision today? And that way you go ahead and you sign them up. Or they're going to say, no, I'm a 5 or 6 and I need to do more homework. What do? You say, thank you very much. Here's my telephone number. Here's my text. Text me. Here's my email. If you find that you have any more questions, or if you're ready to talk again, just give me a call or text me, whatever the case may be, and we'll set up another appointment. And after that second appointment, if they are still on the fence, to just say, okay, well, I'll be here. I'm going to move on, and I've got to get this thing finished in 90 days. So if you need me, give me a call. And you just move on. You don't worry about setting up a third meeting. 2 meetings is the most. Now, why am I going through this? Because I wanted to show you what the basics are. I want to show you that that's all there is to this. Okay, if they are ready to sign up, what do? You're going to train them the 5 simple steps, the 90-day goal sheet. You're going to have them fill all that out. You're going to tell them about the threshold of profitability. You're going to tell them about the music to the ears message. They're ready to go. You're going to send them all those documents, or they're going to log into the back office. All right, and the bottom line is, guys, you know what's going to happen? They're going to be on the same page as you. Duplication is going to be starting from day one. They're going to be on the exact same page. You're going to tell them the importance of mastering the music to the ears message. Don't change any of the words. It doesn't have to be word for word, but the keywords have to be in the message. And the thing is, practice it until you own it. Get out there, share that message. Don't deviate, blah, blah, blah. In other words, you've trained them from that moment on. You also tell them about the threshold of profitability, why they want to do that, why it's important, how it's going to help them get to the goal of the 10,000 group volume by the end of 90 days, right? So your training is complete. They understand the threshold of profitability. They get the message. They're going to practice it until they own it. They're not going to change the keywords. And you know what? They understand CCBVA, consistent, correct, business building activity. They have all those documents in front of them. They have the 90-day goal sheet, which you filled out. They have the progress sheet, an example of that. They know how to fill that out. They know that you're going to follow up with them every Friday to see if they're okay. And if they need to, they can get with you anytime during the week if they have a problem. See, the duplication has already started. It is that simple. I mean, that sounds like a mouthful, but it wasn't, because all of that happens in a matter of a half hour or 40 minutes. Okay. So the bottom line is, guys, there it is. There's the essence of the business. There's the essence of recruiting right there. Constant source, high quality leads, share the message with the right people, follow up with those right people, ask them for a decision, and based on the decision, either move forward to the next person or sign them up and help them get started and be there for them as they grow their own wings so they can fly. That's all you're doing. So the only thing missing here is a constant source of high quality leads, right? And guess what? With the ineedleadsnow.com site coming down the road, you guys are going to have that at your fingertips. Matter of fact, you can go to ineedleadsnow.com and you can register to become a beta tester if, in fact, we're going to be doing that. So if you want to do that, go to ineedleadsnow.com, ineedleadsnow.com, and you can fill out the form and register for to become a beta tester when we bring the site up to par. Now, there's no shenanigans on that form. Yes, you're going to fill out a form. It's just putting you on the list. All you're going to do is get an email to say, hey, congratulations, you're now on the beta tester list. We will not use all beta testers. So obviously, if you're one of the first few hundred, we in fact will probably contact you. If we get 1,000 people, the chances of us using all 1,000 are not going to be, that's not going to be advantageous to us. We need to put a load on it, but not that big of a load. So don't hesitate. Go there, fill out the form, ineedleadsnow.com. Okay, with that being said, guys, we're done here. Thank you guys for your time. I hope that you guys stay safe. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have another great show talking about more important business building tips that you guys can utilize right away so that you can make this year your best year ever. That's what it's all about. I hope that you guys will continue to stay safe, take the necessary steps to make sure that you're all right. If you will, please, again, like, comment, share our shows with other people, and if you will, register for notifications. And during our shows, give us a thumbs up. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for another fact-filled show based on the business building principles of this great industry. God bless you all. Thank you guys for everything. We love you. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.